My name is Clara. I am 21 years old. I moved to New York City from Brazil 3 months ago. I came to learn English and start a new life, but words were hard for me. This is my story about how I learned new words and found my voice. In Brazil, I lived in a small village. Life was slow. Everyone spoke Portuguese. I loved music and dancing, but I dreamed of a bigger world. I wanted to speak English. I wanted to live in a city. So I saved money for a year. Then I bought a ticket to New York. When I arrived, the city was loud. Tall buildings were everywhere. People rushed. Yellow taxis honked. I felt small. My English was weak. I knew simple words like hello and please, but I couldn't say much. I was shy. I was scared to speak. I thought, how do I learn new words? How do I fit in? My first week was tough. I lived in a small room in the Bronx. The subway was confusing. Signs were in English. I didn't understand them. One day, I got on the wrong train. I ended up far from home. I felt lost. I wanted to ask for help, but I didn't know the words. I sat on a bench, almost crying. Then I told myself, Clara, you are here to learn. Try. That day, I saw a woman with a map. I took a deep breath. Excuse me, I said. I'm lost. Can you help? My voice was soft. She smiled. Sure, she said. Where are you going? I showed her my address. She pointed to the right train. Take the 4 train, she said. You'll be fine. I thanked her. I felt a little stronger. I used new words, train and help. It was a start. The next day, I searched for an English school. I found one in Manhattan. It was for beginners. I signed up. My first class was on a Wednesday. I was nervous. My hands were cold. But I walked into the classroom. There were students from many places: Mexico, China, Egypt, Italy, and more. We all smiled at each other. I felt less alone. Our teacher was Miss Lopez. She was young and kind. She said, English is about connection. Words help you share your heart. I liked that. She asked us to introduce ourselves. I said, my name is Clara. I'm from Brazil. I want to learn words. My voice shook, but I did it. Miss Lopez clapped. Great job, Clara, she said. The class clapped too. I smiled. Miss Lopez taught us a trick. To learn words, do what you love, she said. Do you like music? Sing. Do you like stories? Read. Do you like people? Talk. I loved music. I loved stories. I decided to try both. Miss Lopez said, words are like seeds. Plant them in your life. They'll grow. One day, a student named Omar from Egypt asked, "How do I learn new words fast?" Miss Lopez smiled. "Read every day," she said. "Read something fun, a story, a magazine, or a blog. Even 15 minutes helps." She explained, "When you read, you see words in sentences. That's how you learn them." She added, "If you see a new word, look it up, then use it. Say it, write it." I liked her advice. Reading sounded easy. That night, I went to a library in my neighborhood. It was warm and quiet. I borrowed a book called A Walk in New York. It was simple. I read one page at home. I saw the word path. I didn't know it. I checked my phone. It meant a small road. I read the sentence again. The path was green. I understood it. I wrote in my notebook, "I walk on a path." It felt good. I started reading every evening. I read slowly. When I saw new words, I looked them up. I wrote sentences. The sky is blue. The street is busy. Each word was like a new friend. I didn't feel pressure. I felt excited. Reading became my favorite time of day. In class, Ms. Lopez taught us about shadowing. She said, "Listen to English, repeat it, copy the voice." She played a video. A woman spoke slowly. We repeated her words. At first, I laughed. I sounded funny. But then I got better. My voice was clearer. Ms. Lopez said, "Shadowing helps you speak like a native." At home, I found a podcast about music. I listened and repeated. I learned words like melody, rhythm, and song. Shadowing was fun. One day, I saw a poster at school. It said, "Join our music club. Sing in English." I loved singing. In Brazil, I sang with my cousins. I signed up. The club met on Fridays. There were 8 students. They were from Japan, Colombia, Turkey, and more. We sang simple songs. I didn't know all the words, but I tried. Everyone was kind. I learned words like harmony and tune. Singing made words stick in my mind. In the music club, I met a girl named Aisha. She was from Nigeria. Her English was good. She said, "Songs teach words. The music helps you remember." She taught me a song called Bright Days. It was easy. I sang it at home. I learned words like shine and hope. I even sang on the subway. A man smiled at me. I wasn't shy anymore. Miss Lopez gave us homework. Talk to someone in English, she said. Use new words. I decided to talk to my neighbor, Mr. Chen. He was old and friendly. I knocked on his door. "Hello, Mr. Chen," I said. "I'm Clara. I'm learning English." He smiled. "Nice to meet you, Clara," he said. We talked for 10 minutes. I used words from my book, path, sky, breeze. He said, "Your English is good." I felt proud. After a month, I got a job at a small cafe. My boss was Miss Patel. She was from India. She spoke English clearly. She said, "Clara, you'll learn words here." My job was to serve coffee and clean tables. Customers spoke fast. Sometimes I didn't understand, but I smiled. I said, "Can you repeat that?" Most people were patient. One woman said, "You're doing great." I learnt words like order, menu, and tip. At the cafe, I met a customer named Noah. He came every day. One day, he said, "Clara, try Flashcards." He showed me an app. It had words and pictures. I downloaded it. Every night I used the app. I saw a picture of a bridge. I learnt the word. I wrote, "The bridge is long." Flashcards were like a game. I learnt 10 words a week. One day, Miss Patel asked me to answer the phone. I was scared. Phone calls were hard. I couldn't see the person's face. But I said, "I'll try." The phone rang. I said, "Good morning, Sunny Cafe. This is Clara." A man spoke. "Can I order 2 teas?" he asked. I focused. "2 teas?" I said. "Yes," he said, "for pickup." I wrote it down. "Ready in 10 minutes," I said. He thanked me. When I hung up, Miss Patel smiled. "You did it, Clara." I was so happy. On weekends, I explored New York. One Saturday, I went to a park. It was beautiful. People were walking and laughing. I sat and read my book. A girl sat next to me. She was reading too. I said, "Hi, what's your book?" She smiled. "It's a mystery," she said. "I'm Lena." I said, "I'm Clara. I'm reading A Walk in New York." We talked about stories. I used words like adventure and mystery. I felt confident. Ms. Lopez gave us a big task. "Give a short speech," she said. "Talk about how you learn words. 2 minutes." I was nervous, but I wanted to try. At home, I wrote my speech. I learn words by reading. I read books. I use flashcards. I sing songs. I talk to people. Words make me strong. I practiced in front of my mirror. I used shadowing to sound clear. The day of the speech came. I stood in front of the class. My heart was fast, but I spoke. "I love words," I said. In Brazil, I didn't know English. Now I read, I sing, I talk. Words help me live here. When I finished, everyone clapped. Ms. Lopez said, "Clara, that was beautiful." I felt like I was flying. One day, I got lost in Brooklyn. I was looking for a music store. My phone died. I felt scared. But I saw a man with a dog. "Excuse me," I said. "I'm lost. Can you help?" He smiled. "Where are you going?" he asked. I said, "The music store on Main Street." He showed me the way. "You're brave," he said. I thanked him. I found the store. I bought a songbook. I learned words like chord and beat. 2 months later, I went to a concert with Aisha. We sang in English. I used words I learned: rhythm, melody, dance. Aisha said, "Clara, your English is so good." I smiled. "It's not perfect," I said, "but I love learning." She hugged me. "That's why you're great," she said. Every day I learned new words. I read for 15 minutes. I used flashcards. I did shadowing. I wrote sentences. I thought aloud in English. "I'm going to the cafe," I said. "I'm strong." It helped me think in English. Sometimes I dreamed in English. That was magical. One night, I stood on a bridge in the Bronx. The city lights were bright. I thought about my first day. I was so scared. Now I was different. Words gave me courage. They helped me talk, sing, and dream. Learning words was more than English. It was about finding myself. If you're learning English or trying something new, here's my advice. Start small. Read a little, sing a little, talk a little. Every word is a step. You don't need to be perfect. Just try. You're stronger than you know. What did you think of Clara's story? Did it inspire you? How do you learn new words? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you liked this story, share it with a friend. Subscribe and click the bell for more stories. Thank you for reading. Keep learning, one word at a time.